Hold on. This is your Black Panther Brigade. If you notice the skin color, they were a tank-driven brigade. Black Panthers were, and it's more pictures of them. I'm going to show y'all some more pictures of them. This is what their symbol was during World War II. Right? See what it say? Come out fighting. Come out fighting. Right? So this is their motto. Let me show you some more pictures. So I want this to sink in who the Black Panther Brigade is. Look. Right? Now, when General Patton wanted to institute them into the war, interject them into the war, he was met with opposition. His argument was they the best goddamn tank brigade on the fucking planet. How in the fuck do we keep them out of the war unless we are planning on losing? Right? So look, Black Panther Brigade. Do you see M. Paleface in the Black Panther Brigade? Not one. Now, why did they choose Black Panther? Well, it's totem animal. It's a totem animal for the Mississippians. And if y'all remember, GINDJAB, Jonal Pratt. Jonal Pratt was framed and sent to prison. This is Jonal Pratt. Right? COINTELPRO hired some police officers to commit a murder and frame him. And his case is the blueprint for Tukey case. They almost the same. You can't tell them apart when you're reading the paperwork. That's how closely related these two cases are. And only difference is Jonal Pratt had witnesses stating where he was that was never allowed to testify. Whereas the nigga that Tukey was smoking with never came forward in his defense. So that's the difference, right? And so when you realize that Jonal Pratt, he wasn't part of what we call the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense that rose out of Oakland, California. He was already a Black Panther in Mississippi before they ever went to California to start a Black Panther Party. Jonal Pratt was a Black Panther. So what do? Well, we don't want to go to war with each other, right? That's not our mission. Our mission ain't to fight each other. It's each one teach one. So what did he do? He went and he joined Mutulu Shakur's Black Liberation Army branch in California and became an advisor to the Black Panther Party, but he discovered in short order that the Black Panther Party on the West Coast was heavily infiltrated by agents. And the agents that they were infiltrated by look just like us, but they ain't us. Okay? So he didn't want no more parts of them, and he tried to alert the higher-ups in the Black Panther Party that he thought was trustworthy, and apparently he must have alerted the wrong nigga because they framed his ass for murder, kept him in prison for 20-something years, right? They only let him out on compassionate release because he was diagnosed with some kind of cancer, or so they say. Then, from here, you see that Operation Paperclip brought all of the scientists from Nazi Germany to America. And it took all of the metaphysicians from Germany to Russia. And it took all of the bankers from Germany to Britain. So the British held on to the economics and the purse strings of the German people, while America held on to the brains of the German machine, and Russia held on to the psychic development programs of the Third Reich. So they were split up, and this is why only certain people were prosecuted in the Nuremberg trials, and the ones that they was able to utilize was kept for national security purposes under Operation Paperclip, right? Now, while they running this program, Operation Paperclip, bringing in who they say is the worst of the worst war criminals in the history of the world over here, telling about the gun line, boss, goddamn right. While they bringing them motherfuckers over here, using them for NASA, using them to set up places like Silicon Valley, and using them in all kinds of medical experimentation, right? While they was doing all of this shit, they were matriculating these people into the society and not telling us they here. We don't find out for 40 years later that they was over here. It was like 40-something years later before the Freedom of Information Act disclosed Operation Paperclip, right? We still don't understand what we call COINTELPRO. So it's going to be even harder to understand Operation Paperclip, right? So now Adolf Hitler is said to have went to Argentina. Why Argentina? Right now, remember, Brazil and Argentina is in South America, the first place the conquistadors went, right? And so why it would make sense that if you're trying to root out these same motherfuckers, you would go to their stronghold, which we call South America, Brazil, Venezuela. So now you understand when you start talking about the Venezuelan infiltration of conquistadors, you start understanding what happened to what we call Los Comandantes, Che Guevara. We understand better about the disappearance of Camilo Cienfuegos and the perpetual embargo and economic strangulation of what we call Cuba under what they said was the Castro regime. Now, they are telling us that this is a communist defense, like we defending ourselves from communism. But what is communism? Because in communist country, communists call communism democracy. Think about that for a minute. I'm going to let that sink in. I'm going to say it one more time. In communist country, the communists call communism democracy, right? But they don't call it a republic. Now, there's a difference in the democracy and a republic. The democracy Okay, so do some invites in here before I jump in the shower. I want to do a little short video to tell y'all officially that I am the official master of masters, master of the self-raised masters. I'm officially King of Kings, Lord of Lords, having followed all of the signs across all of the times, understanding the agenda and executing the plan. It's come to discover that proper preparation does prevent poor performance. And in the course of events, this day, June the 6th, when that day that nobody knew, June the 6th, the day of the man, the 22nd day of the month, the day of the master, 2019, where he joined the two, the Alpha to the Omega, to break us free from these chains of hell. If y'all ever shared a video, this would be a good one to share. We are officially free from the bondage, servitude, and all oppression. Everybody now has to answer to me. Everybody has to answer to me. We won. I took them out up there first. So there was no opposition down here next. As above, so below. And I followed all the signs through all of the ages, across all of the cultures. I wrapped it all up, concentrated my focus, used my discipline, and I sat down and I cracked the code of he who is wise. Let him count the number. Because it boils down to, as I was doing my research to deliver my my bill of receipt, which I got all my research notes. I'm not going to even pull them up. My words should be bond by now. All the shit I went through. I got them available when they ready for them. They gonna come and get them, but y'all can walk free. Watch these police bag the fuck up now. The general just officially took over. That's the official message for the Pope. He knew I was coming. The Queen, all of them. All my sisters, y'all free. Just to let y'all know. When it sink in, y'all gonna understand better. Master the Day of Judgment. I conquered that puzzle. I cracked that riddle. Because my proper preparation prevented me from having a poor performance on this day of Masters. The day of the Alpha meets the Omega. We can go on to the fifth dimension, y'all. We free. Share this video. I'm about to go take a shower and lay down in my over here by my lonely. So be getting back with y'all soon. But let them do the math. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Let them do the math. See if they can find it. I'm going to show it to them when they come to see it, though. They know what's up. Y'all free. I just wanted y'all to know that. Share this video. Let everybody know that I conquered the riddle for the Day of Judgment that would set us free. I did that. All right. So with that, I'm about to go jump in the shower. I need one real bad. All right. And y'all be up. Now, we know we ain't African American. We know we ain't black. The reason why they use that, this was done in, I think it was passed in 2018 or 2017 or 2018. 4 years ago. 2017. And it's commemorating that 400 years, what they call Abrahamic prophecy of those being afflicted in a foreign land for 400 years. This is the blueprint to the conquest of the indigenous people by making them think they came from somewhere else. So they telling you in the in this address that this 400-year time frame has concluded. Therefore, the game is over. The gig is up. And those Negroes know that they not Negroes no more. Right? This is what they telling us. Right? Now, recently in Florida, a sister became the district attorney. So it was a Florida DA, I don't see her in here, who admitted to her role in the mass incarceration under the Zero Tolerance Act. And she went on to explain that that's what she was taught, but now it's time for us to be held accountable and hold ourselves accountable and start taking charge of our own community. I don't see it in here, but I'll show it on the next live. Anyway, so the whole system is waiting on us. It ain't waiting on us to tear it up. That's not necessary. If it was necessary, I'd been leading the charge in that shit. All that's waiting on us is to say, in a unified voice, free Larry Hoover. When we say free Larry Hoover, we enact all of that shit that they said we had the right to do, and that they wouldn't interfere with those rights, what you call autonomous self-determination. Autonomous means that we can operate on our own and we don't need no government of any kind to tell us anything, right? So what I'm going to do right here, because I got two callers want to get in, Shine Watts and Young Kai. So there's so much information in here. I'm going to end this live and I'm going to call them in on the next one. I got 4 questions. I don't know what they are, but I'm gonna see if I can answer them quickly. I'll answer them, and then I'll close this out and start another live where we gonna talk about whatever y'all heard in here that y'all want to talk about. So the first question: when I'm meditating, at times I see an eye. I also saw an eye when I was staring at the wall. What does that mean? So when you see an eye during meditation, it's telling you to focus on your third eye. So I had a dream about a white horse. It was running toward me. I was so scared I fell to the ground. When it caught me, it just wanted me to pet him. What does my dream mean? What we was just talking about. So the white horse is the horse of conquest, right? You were showing fear to conquering, but victory was seeking to be your friend the whole time. Okay, so there is some more questions, but I can't access them. Classic Beauty. I'm not gonna 5. That's some number flipping. I don't. That might take me somewhere. So I'm gonna end this one, and then I'm gonna take callers in on the next one as a supplement. Right, Dre the Actor, come in on the next one, dog. It's 3 of y'all. I see y'all: Shine Watts, Young Kai, and Dre the Actor. I'm gonna pull y'all in on the next one. I'm gonna end this one so I can save it before they cut me up and erase it, because there's some good shit in this motherfucker. Right, so I'm gonna log out, save this, and then I'm gonna log back in on a different call, on a different live. Kind of people I be talking about, right? So it's other means that they do, like exploitation. They weaponize exploitation to mislead people. So we got to go into their organizations and get our people out that shit. We got to go into the Moorish Zionist temple, come out of that shit and start the Moorish Science temple. Once they infiltrate that, we have to defect, join the Nation of Islam until they infiltrate that. Then Malcolm got to run the red herring to keep the assassination off Elijah. Then Wallace got to tear the shit all the way down, and Farrakhan got to rebuild it from scratch without the infiltrators in the central circles. Because now we know who they are. So Farrakhan knew them because I told him who it was. He told them in the public domain, right? He called out all their names of the infiltrators, right? He said exactly where they was at. Chicago and New York was the main places where they were most heavily infiltrated. Where did Farrakhan come from? From the mosque in Boston. He went from Boston to New York, but he already knew what he was up against. Now, how do I know to trust Farrakhan? Attica, 1971. they wanted Farrakhan to carry a message. So they got him in there by tearing that motherfucker up. Look up the Attica riots, because whether they tell you or not, they couldn't bring an end to that riot, that standoff, until the organizers had a sit down with the minister. They didn't ask for the president. I think it was Nixon at the time. They didn't ask for him, or LBJ or one of them motherfuckers. They didn't ask for him either, right? So, why is they asking for Farrakhan? Right? They got something for him, because you got to get the okay from certain people in order to make certain moves on the land, right? So I'm watching Farrakhan rebuild the nation as I grow up, but I don't know nothing about what the fuck they talking about, right? And then I was able to study nation doctrine, understand what Elijah was talking about, where he was coming from, even in the midst of Islam being the cover story. The doctrine is not the same, because the doctrine is designed to carry messages to a select group of people that vibrate on a specific frequency. Those who don't vibrate on that frequency will say it's not Islam, it's not, but Islam just means a peaceful way, those who follow the way of peace. And the book say, blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall inherit the earth. But really, if you really translate it right, the word is effeminate. Blessed are the women,